are again. It's that time of the evening again that we are live with the Platinum Racing TCR Series. Welcome everyone, my name is Dan and I'm your commentator for today. As always, we jump straight into the action. Of course, we are at the Hungaroring today, a beautiful track, a beautiful venue for these cars to race around, and I am very excited for this evening's race because we know Hungaroring is a track that provides close racing. You can overtake on this track. It's very, very close as always. So let's just get straight into the action. Today, like I said, we have the Hungaroring. We also have the updated championships for you. Here we have it. It's Josh Files in the lead of the championship after 3 races. The 4th race tonight with 107 points. A big gap to our man in 2nd place, Winston Eckel. Anton Dupont is in 3rd. 63 points for him. Been very consistently performing. As is Fran Vinal, he is on 62 points, as is Sam Coleman. Martin Hobson just behind that. He really isn't happy with how he has been performing last races. He has been unlucky, he said a few times. So he'll be looking to do better than last races out here at the Hungaroring. Not his favorite track, but he has to perform. Ben Green is in 7th with 55 points, 54 points, just 1 point behind that is Sven Merckx. Magnus Johansson is in 9th on 51 points, together with Vincent Assems, who will be looking to jump up a fair amount in the championship this evening. Niels Langeveld is in 11th for Gazax Racing Team Hyundai. 12th is Nick Kerstens. 1 point behind Niels. 1 point behind that is Milos Speelman together with Marnix Heister. 31 points for Tom Mulle in 15th position. That means that behind him is Colin van der Peijst on 27 points. Dani Vogel is 17th with 26 points. 1 point behind him is Gustavo Xavier. Then we have Fabian Toben in 19th with 24 points. He'll be looking to do better than he is at the moment. He'll be looking to jump up a fair amount in the championship as well. Rob Meulenbroeks is in 20th with 19 points. 17 points for Charles Dawson. And 16 points for Nacho Amela. Pepe Kerstens is in 23rd with 15 points ahead of Clement Schmidt. He is on 11 points together with Freek Verkoelen. 26th is Stefano Pellegrino on 10 points. 5 points for James Holman. 28 points for Rune Bobars. And then behind him, last but not least with no points, is Mirko Bortolotti. Then we look on to the team championship. Here we have the team championship for you. In 1st place is Gazax Racing Team Hyundai with 194 points, closely followed by Platinum Racing Team 1. Platinum Racing Team 2 is a long way off that with 116 points respectively to their name. But they are 59 points behind Platinum Racing Team 1. Lithium Motorsports is in 4th with 85 points. Just 7 points behind that is Chroma Motorsport. Flemish Sim Sports by Viraco is on 63 points. And in 6th, 7th is Vulcan Sim Racing on 62 points. They can overtake very likely Flemish Sim Sports if they do well. Team Rima is in 8th on 51 points, just 1 point ahead of Raptor Racing Team Orange. Gazax Racing Team Blue is in 10th ahead of RD Sim Sports. 42 points for GasX Racing Team Blue and 36 for RD Sim Sports. Raptor Racing Team White is second to last, 2 points behind RD Sim Sports. And 23rd or 13th and last is GasX Racing Team Academy. Well then, that has been the championships. And well, it's time for qualifying already. Let's stay with this man. He had the fastest lap time in the practice session. Vincent Awesems is likely going to be the first one to set a lap time, of course, but he has to keep the car together for this one. He is the first one to set a lap time, if he does so, of course. Right behind him is Charles Dawson. And right behind him, we move back to the live action. Here we are then. As I have to fix it like this. Otherwise it sadly won't work. Don't know how it does this. But hey, it's at the moment Vincent Awesems. Here we have him. We're just about in time to see him finish his first lap time. 3 sectors only here today at the Hungaroring, so that makes life a little bit easier for us to understand. Vincent Awesems comes across the line to get an off track in that lap. That is why it does not count. Winston Eckel is the first one to set the lap time. He goes to the top with a 1:55.76, but he gets beaten by Martin Hobson with a 1:55.72. Martin Hobson, then of course the man who has the fastest lap by only 37 thousandths of a second. We'll look back with Vincent Awesems. He himself is improving again in the first sector. He has to. Drivers now setting the first lap times. It's so easy to pick an off track or to get an off track here at the Hungaroring, because you don't really have physical track limits. You only have the curbs. You have a lot of apron to run onto, of course. Let's see what Vincent Awesems can do here then. Halfway through the last sector, has one final corner to go now. One final turn to the right. And then we will see his lap time probably come up on screen. Here we go then. What is Vincent Awesems' lap time gonna be? The answer is, it's gonna be a lap time good enough for provisional pole position. 1:54.591. Josh Files, of course, our leader of the championship by quite a big margin, is just behind that. Martin Hobson improves as well to 1:54, but he has a 1:54.972. And then the closest to that is Fran Vinal Spaniard with a 155.56 gets beaten by Sam Coleman, and there is only 0.06 of a second between those two. Another one to take a look at is Freek Verkulle. He now rounds off the last corner. I think this is for Raptor Racing Team Orange. Freek Verkulle, does he jump up? Yes, he does, to P10 with a 157.17. Pepe Kerstens hasn't set a lap time yet. Vincent Awesom's not improving. Pepe Kerstens though right behind Vincent Awesom's. He is improving, it looks like. Oh, but that is going to be an off track there for Pepe Kerstens. He has to bail out of that one. Sven Merckx then, what can he do for Platinum Racing Team? Of course, Sven had a very, very successful feature race out at Watkins Glen, winning that one against all odds. But he looks to try and do the same like he did out there at Watkins Glen. Right behind him, it looks like it is, like I guessed, Marnix Heiser. But what is Sven Merckx gonna set for a lap time? He jumps up into P11 just ahead of Nick Kerstens, who also just improved into P11. What can Marnix Heiser do? Still nothing for him. Who was that then jumping up there? As we look at Vincent Awesom's. Can he improve? Pepe Kerstens, currently together with Marnix Heiser, haven't set a lap time. What can he do then for Raptor Racing Team White? I think I have it correct like that. Very difficult because I thought that this is orange, but I think this more orange based livery will be Team White, and he will now start a new lap, so this lap won't count for him. Charles Dawson will jump up into 4th position. Fran Vinal behind that now in 7th. Where does he jump up to? He stays where he is. He does improve though. Marnix Heiser, where does he set his lap time? He is up into P11 now with a 155.78. Vincent Awesom's though in the pit lane currently. He is leading the way by 1.5 tenths over Josh Files. Martin Hobson with a big gap to Vincent Awesom's and Josh Files. Almost 4 tenths the gap to Vincent Awesom's, as we are halfway through qualifying. He is. What can he do? Martin Hobson. Touching the grass there. I don't know who that was. You can take a look at it. That has been Fran Vinal, who was improving, but now has to bail out of that lap. No one really looking to improve. Someone who I think should be higher up and is going to improve is Winston Eckel. Normally he is towards the top of the table, but now down in 10th seems to be really struggling. Nacho Amela now down in 18th, but where can he improve to? He goes into P16, but behind him Dani Vogel and Frick Verkoelen both improving. Frick Verkoelen looking to open that gap to Nacho Amela. Gap is currently just over a 10th. He now rounds off the last corner. And what can he do? Still a lot of time for people to improve, but this could be a good lap time for him. And it is not going to be an improvement, although he was green in all sectors. And yes, it is an improvement. A 156.91. Dani Vogel now, where can he improve to? Coming across the line, down on 18th he was. And he is still going to be down on 18th. Now with a purple first sector. This could be big for the Spaniard. A personal improvement in sector 2. But right ahead of him is traffic. And I think we're number 17. That is Winston Eckel. Yes, it is. He is going to come across the line out. Fran Vinal, where is he going to jump up to? Currently in 7th. But he jumps up into P3 with a lap time of 154.91. And that is just ahead of Martin Hobson by just under 7/10. Seven hundredths of a second, excuse me. Nick Kerstens is also improving. I don't know if that was an off track. I do think it is. Very difficult one, of course. For Raptor Racing Team, White coming across the line, putting in a lap time of improving in sector 3. I do think he had an off track there. Winston Eckel now up into 7th, finally getting a little bit more closer towards where he should be. Was that an off track? We're going to see in a bit. I think it was. Yes, it was. Now he lets people by. And he's going to have to try again. Pepe Kerstens currently down in 19th. He can improve if he wants to. But it is just a matter of getting it out there. And can he do so this time round? Yes, he can. He does improve. But not by a lot. Not a lot of people improving anymore. someone who looks to be improving is Winston Eckel in Sector 2. Never mind, we haven't been there. Let's look with Freek Verkoelen. Where is he? He's 15th at the moment, looking to improve. Come across the line. Can he do so? Not quite. 700s off. Vincent Osams, does he improve? No, he does not. And Josh Files now is at the top of the standings with a 154.52, so he's gonna have to improve. He did that last time around with only a purple last sector. So can he improve again? Sector 1, the answer is no. But a lot of things that still can happen. Natra Amela now, I think, right ahead of him. Currently down in 16s, but what can he do? Can he maybe improve to P12 or maybe P11? Maybe P13 is a more realistic goal for him. Let's see what he brings us. Pepe Kerstens is the first one to come across the line. And he's gonna put in just not there, the pace for him. Nacho Amela in 16th. Where can he improve to, if he can improve? Magnus Johansson stays 12th with that time. Nacho Amela, can he improve? Yes, he can, but he does not go up a position. So close with Freek Verkoelen. Vincent Osams, he is looking to improve again. Can he do so? He only has to find 69 thousandths of a second. Is he able to do so? No, he isn't, but he is able to find time. 12 thousandths of a second, 100ths of a second. Just about behind Josh Files. Oh, so close. James Holman, there he is. Hasn't set a lap time yet, but he is purple in Sector 1. Is he just gonna perform on his first lap? What is his second sector gonna say? His second sector purple as well. Can he improve up into first position? With only his first lap. The answer is no, he can't. Very disappointing there for two purple sectors, P13, and that is qualifying done for you. Let's look at the grid then. And it'll be Josh Files on pole position. Alongside him will line up Vincent Osams, with Fran Vinal in third. Martin Hobson is in fourth. Fifth is Charles Dawson. Sam Coleman is in sixth. Gustavo Xavier seventh. Eighth is Winston Eckel. And ninth will be Fabian Tobin. 10th then will be Milo Speelman. 11th Marnix Heister. 12th Magnus Johansson. 13th James Holman. Sven Merckx will be starting from P14. 15th is Nick Kersten. 16th alongside him, the same team, Raptor Racing Team Orange looks out that row. Freek Verkoelen. Very close between those two guys. Nacho Amela in 17th. 18th is Dani Vogel. Miles Owens is in 19th, ahead of Pepe Kerstens for Raptor Racing Team White. 21st is Rude Bobars, 7 seconds off the pace. And just behind that is Tom Malle. Well, and that is the grid for you. We'll look at some race info, of course. Knowing this track, 4.33 kilometers long. Track temperature 26 degrees at the moment. Air temps is at 19. It's cloudy at this day and time. Of course, located in Hungary, we're using the Grand Prix configuration. And it's about time that we get these cars underway. The 5 lights are showing. They are now all red. And they are out, and we are underway for the first race. For the sprint race of this evening's start. Josh Files, as always, a very, very terrible getaway. But it is Front Vinal with the best getaway from everyone else. Is he going to be looking to cut off Vincent Osseps into the first corner? No, he is not. Vincent Osseps slots in ahead of him. Martin Hobson just behind that now, ahead of Sam Coleman. Josh Files on the inside of Sam. Sam looking to stick this one around the outside. He is able to do so, but now the switchback down the inside. Next corner is a right-hander, so he is going to have to stick it around the outside there. And he does so. There's a little bit of a touch. And Josh Files gives that position to Sam Coleman. Then Josh Files up the inside now of Charles Dawson. And that is Marnix Heisler with a dive down the inside. Or was that Winston Eckel? I think it was Winston Eckel. Yes, it was. A very ambitious dive there down the inside. But he wanted to capitalize on the mistake there. Giving that position back now. Or is he cutting across the chicane? There is Winston Eckel. And he has to, just like last week, serve a slowdown there. Slowdowns hunting Winston Eckel week after week, it seems like. Vincent Osseps now. He is leading the pack. 8/10 is the gap already. He will be looking to extend that a little bit before Josh Files can move up a couple of positions. Here he is, down in 5th position. Behind Sam Coleman. We know he is fast, Josh Files. We know he can't start like all the others with a clutch paddle. He has it on a button. So he most of the times has a terrible getaway. That is the reason for that. But now he has a good exit. Sam Coleman is his first prey to make use of. Is he going to do so? Yes, he is. Up the inside. Is he going to be able to make this one stick? Yes, he is. Martin Hobson also going up the inside of Front Vinal. He is able to make that one stick, but he's now going to try and look for the switchback. It's Josh Files who has that position covered. He covers the inside, Martin Hobson ahead of this. And that is that position done for him as well. Front Vinal now is going to have to look in his rear view mirror, because there is a very quick Josh Files chasing down. Or chasing him down. Marnix Heisler with a good start again. 5 position gain for him. Sven Merckx now looking to go up the inside here. Is he able to make this one stick? Yes, he is. There is a little touch there. And there is a spin, I think. Or is he able to keep this straight? Yes, he is. But Sven Merckx gets through up into P8. Sam Coleman now right up behind Josh Files, who is right up behind Front Vinal. And ahead of him is Martin Hobson. Really, it looks like holding up the top 4 here, or even the top 5. But his teammate Vincent Osseps will be saying, go on, do what you're doing. This is great for the championship, because of course behind him there is Josh Files. Martin Hobson now heading a little bit clear of Front Vinal. You see here Winston Eckel all over James Holman. He of course had 1 lap, and that is what he had to do it with in qualifying. And he is now up into at the moment P9. 4 positions gained there for him. Biggest gainers there on the start is Sven Merckx. He is just ahead of everyone else in this pack. He has gained 7 positions in his Audi. Audi, not a bad car to be in around this track, it seems like. But 2 Hondas at the front of the field, then it's an Audi, and then it's 2 Hyundais. Josh Files and Sam Coleman respectively. Sam Coleman trying to go around the outside of Josh Files. Really tricky. Josh Files goes a little bit wide there on the exit. A little bit on the steering for him there. But he's able to keep this one ahead of Sam Coleman. Front final, they're using all the track available to him, and maybe a little bit too much. Martin Hobson now running away a little bit from this pack. And currently, it's a Platinum Racing Team 1, all front row. So they lock out now P1 and P2. But can they keep it like it is now? 5 minutes already done of the first race of this evening, sprint race of this evening. Feature race will be the same amount of length. Josh Fowles just behind front final there, but Sam Coleman keeping him honest, not giving an inch. There is Sam Coleman, but it looks like Josh Fowles now has got a little bit away from him, and he's now free to chase down Fran Vinal. Magnus Johansson is now right up behind Charles Dawson. That is a push pass there from him. Or he loses a position there to Gustavo Xavier in the, I think, Gazax Racing Team blue car. Very recognizable colors. Charles Dawson also in the Gazax Racing Team blue car. Up the inside now looking is Gustavo Xavier. He does let him pass. Nicely done there by the 2 teammates. I think that was a little bit of team orders there, because that was a little bit easy for the long way back that he had to come from Gustavo Xavier. But he is now up into P12, looking to chase down Fabian Tobin. Ahead of him, he lost 8 positions, Charles Dawson, the man ahead of this, in the opening laps. He's the biggest loser out of everyone. Josh Files now has got past Fran Vinal. Let's take a look at that. Here we are then. Up the inside of T1. Makes that one stick, but then it's Fran Vinal with a very, very good exit then. And now he's going to be looking to stick one around the outside. And is he going to be able to do so? No, he is not. And that is that position done for Josh Files. Looks like we can't look at the replays today. Because that will make a mess of the live timing software. He does stay ahead now for a whole lap. Who was that there parked on the inside? Josh Files now looking to chase down, of course, Martin Hobson. I think we're almost caught up to the live action. Yes, there we are. So we're not going to look at a replay again. We've learned that. But Josh Files now really chasing down the man ahead of him, posting the fastest first sector this lap. Fastest second sector for Vincent Awesams, who has a 2.6 seconds gap to Martin Hobson, and Josh Files behind that is 3.6 seconds. So a pretty healthy margin there for Vincent Ossems as we're almost halfway through this race. Looking a little bit further back into the field is Milos Spilman. He's now right up behind Marnix Heister, who has lost all the positions that he gained from that amazing start he had. And it looks like his pace is falling away a little bit. Question is, when can Milos Spilman overtake him, because it looks like he is all over the back of him. Of course, these cars sound absolutely amazing, and you can throw them around. Well then, Milos Spilman is falling back now a little bit on Marnix Heister. Sven Merckx is up 6 positions. He will be looking to keep that run going. Fabian Tobin is now behind him, pushing and try to get maybe Sven Merckx into a mistake. Sam Coleman got past Fran Vinal now, but this is very, very close still. Now, Fran Vinal, what can he do? Maybe around the outside. Is he going to be able to make this one stick? Now, maybe the switchback then. Parking it on the apex. Sam Coleman, really strategic move there from him. Keeping it very close is Fran Vinal. Fran Vinal. Difficult one to pronounce. Fabian Tobin right behind Sven Merckx, as you can see here. Chasing him down. And now he might have the overspeed. Oh, it's so close. The left hand, not really a place to overtake. Up the inside he goes then. Sven not really bothered about it. Just turns in. Doesn't fluff his lines. Josh Files around the outside for P2 on Martin Hobson. Can he make it stick? Forces Martin Hobson wide. Gets the better exit onto the straight. Now Martin gonna try and fend the inside. Almost up against the pit wall. But now is Josh Files gonna be able to make the switchback work? No, he is not, because Martin Hobson parks the car on the apex very strategically there. Here's Josh Files then now. Maybe going to try and stick it around the outside again. Maybe looking for the switchback here. Not really working. And that is position defended successfully by Martin Hobson. This is giving Vincent Ossems time to run away at the head of the field. Behind that, it is Fran Vinal together with Sam Coleman, very close as well. Winston Eckel then closing up to James Holman. He now the biggest gainer, James, from everyone apart from Tom Mullet. He has gained 10 positions from his starting position. But looking at Winston Eckel, it looks like he has massive overspeed on James Holman. Winston Eckel, he needs to perform for the team standings as well for Platinum Racing Team 1. As we have only 5 minutes to go then in this sprint race. All packed with action. Fabian Tobin right behind Sven Merck, still fighting for P8. And Josh Files still right up behind Martin Hobson. Down the main straight we go again, right up against the pit wall. Is it going to be the same as a lap earlier? It looks like that is going to be the case. Martin Hobson forcing him all the way to the outside. Now getting a good exit, keeping it to the inside. There he is. He's going to have to try and stick it around the outside. Josh Files now, he does slot in behind. Maybe looking to pounce up the hill here into the left-hander. You really want to have the inside there. And he is going to stick to the inside for as long as possible. Now tucks out to the outside and keeps that position again. It is Martin Hobson under intense pressure by Josh Files. And due to this, Sam Coleman and Fran Vinal now can gain on these two, but they are fighting themselves. So not really able to gain there, as we can see in the background, but this is the battle we are looking at for now, because this is for P2. Josh Files definitely want to look at in the feature race when we have that reverse top 10. Martin Thijs at the moment in pole position for that reverse top 10, as we have seen him be so many times. But Martin Hobson now, can he defend his position successfully again? Welcome Jake to the stream. Yeah, race is going very well for a lot of drivers, and it's very exciting, especially this fight. It has been going on like this for 2 laps now. It looks like Martin Hobson has a little bit of a bigger gap now coming on to the main straight, but he is still going to keep the inside, and it's Josh Files who has to go around the outside again. Maybe this is then the call, getting a good exit onto this one. Fran Vinal and Sam Coleman also side by side, but this is the battle for second place, and it is Martin Hobson again with a successful defensive action. And I think this one is done now, because you can't really make a move up the inside or around the outside here. And Josh Files has 1 lap left after this one to try and gain that position from Martin Hobson, to try and spoil the party for Platinum Racing Team 1 to get that all 1-2 finish, which will be very helpful as well in the team championship. Because the Gazax Racing Team Hyundai team has really been carried by this man alone, Josh Files. Over 100 points. He's the only one over 100 points after 3 races. But it is Martin Hobson who's going to have to stick to the inside for one more time. You would say if he can defend it this time successfully, he has done for the whole race successfully. But he does go a little bit wide. Now defending the inside then, is it going to be enough for Martin Hobson? Getting a love tap there from Josh Files, saying, hey, look, I'm still here and I want to get past at least before the checkered flag. But Martin says, no, that is not gonna happen. Now, down the infield part, you really have to say there are not a lot of overtaking opportunities anymore here. So it is really gonna have to come out of nowhere for Josh Files. Maybe at the end of, or at the beginning of sector 3, the right-hander. And he is now going to stick to the inside. Martin Hobson, he does defend that place successfully. Now into the last 2 corners. Around the outside then maybe for Josh Files. Is he going to be able to make this one stick? No, he is not. He does almost push him through the corner. Keeping the inside is Martin Hobson. Is he going to be able to stick it around the outside? Josh Files maybe getting the better exit. But I think that Martin Hobson has this one covered. Yes, he does. And he comes home second. Front final just ahead of James Holman. Sam Coleman drops down to 6th. Just ahead of Winston Eckel. Wow. What a race that was. And all drivers are finished already. And we go into a 2-minute warm-up. Well, let's look at that result then. From Heat 1. It is Vincent Osams who leads the way for Platinum Racing Team 1 ahead of his teammate Martin Hobson. 4.7 seconds the gap at the end of the race. 3/10 behind that. Only 3/10 is Josh Files has been trying to overtake Martin Hobson for the whole race. Fran Final in 4th. James Holman in 5th. 6th is Sam Coleman. Winston Eckel is in 7th. 8th is Sven Merckx. Marnix Heister is in 9th for Platinum Racing Team 2. 10th is Fabian Tobin. Just behind that, very close finish between those two as well. Milo Spilman is in 11th. 12th is Tom Malle. 13th Magnus Johansson. 14th is Dani Fugel. 15th Charles Dawson. And 16th is Nick Kerstens. 17th is Miles Owen. Then we have Gustavo Xavier in 18th. 19th Pepe Kerstens. Nacho Amela in 20th. And 21st is Rune Bobars. 22nd is Freek Verkoelen. That is your wrap up. Take a good look at it. Well then, that has been it. And we go now on to gridding for the feature race. Let's look at the grid then real quick. It's Fabian Tobin in first position, Marnix Heister in second, Sven Merckx in third, fourth is Winston Eckel looking to do better this race, fifth is Sam Coleman, sixth is James Holman, seventh Fran Vinal, eighth Josh Files, ninth Martin Hobson, and 10th our winner from the last race, Vincent Ossems. Then we have Milo Speelman in 11th, 12th Tom Mahler, 13th Magnus Johansson, 14th Dani Vogel, 15th Charles Dawson, 16th is Nick Kersten, 17th is Miles Owens. Then we have in 18th Gustavo Xavier Pepe Kerstens is in 19th, 20th Nacho Amela. Then in 21st we have Rude Bobars and Freek Verkoelen is in 22nd. Well then, it's almost time to start the feature race. Here we are then looking at Martin Hobson. The 5 red lights are on. They are out and we are underway for the second race of this evening's PRL TCR Series. Marnix Heister at the head of the field gets away very, very well. He already has a gap of half a second to the rest of the field. Can break it to T1 on his own, not really worrying about anyone else. James Holman gets through in second. Sam Coleman in fourth. Winston Eckel stays in fourth. Fifth is Fran Vinal. Sven Merckx in sixth. Vincent Ossems has gained a lot of positions in seventh. A terrible start again for Josh Files, now with big trouble down into P16, losing a lot of points for the championship now, while his biggest rival, I think Vincent Ossems, after this evening is up into P7, looking to maybe gain another position down the inside here. Having to defend there from Martin Hobson. That was a little bit of an ambitious move there by the British driver, and that loses Vincent Ossems a couple of positions. Marnix Heister then leading the field away ahead of James Holman, but being pressurized by him. Not really any breathing room for him. Sam Coleman is right behind this in third. Winston Eckel is in fourth. Maybe the driver with the best shot at the win at the moment. In fifth is Sven Merckx right up behind that. But it's really Winston Eckel now showing the drivers from Platinum TCR Team 1 how you survive in a feature race with a reversed top 10. Vincent Ossems has gained the position back again, up into P11 already. But he has lost a lot of positions to his teammates. But he will be looking in the next couple of minutes, in the next 18 minutes, to make up as much of those positions as he can. As is Winston Eckel, of course. He's one of the only ones who has stayed where they are after the first lap. Miles Owens and it is Winston Eckel and Miles Owens who are the only ones to do so, to keep their position. Sam Coleman just ahead of Winston Eckel. Marnix Heister defending very, very well at the moment from all of these drivers. Sam Coleman just behind James Holman, who's just behind that, of course, Marnix Heister. Marnix looking to do the same as he did a couple of races ago. I think the first race where he had an absolute amazing result in the first feature race of the or the first evening, of course. He had a almost perfect evening for him out in the first race, which sadly couldn't receive because I was sick at that point. But Marnix Heister now defending here from a lot of people behind him. This is holding up a lot of people. This is good for the likes of Josh Files and Vincent Ossems, because that means the field stays bunched up. But now trying to go around the outside is James Holman. He has sold the dummy, and he does punt them off there, and that is not what you want to see. That is Marnix Heister losing a lot of positions, not really able to go down the inside there. And he's now pressurized by Martin Hobson. maybe the one with the best chance of winning this race for Platinum Racing Team 1. Is he going to be allowed through by Marnix Heister? The answer is yes, he is. That is very, very easy there. Martin Hobson out through, and Marnix Heister looking to fight his own fight again, together with Sven Merckx. The Platinum Racing Team cars there lined up in their formation. Vincent Ossems back up into P10 after that little collision he had. But as you can see right behind that, Fran Vinal and Josh Files coming up. He really has to make his way forward now, otherwise he is going to be under attack from Josh Files. James Holman now out at the head of the field. Winston Eckel still third. Looking to maybe take a little bit of revenge on James Holman for his sister team driver Marnix Heister. Maybe just taking that first position away from him. Martin Hobson is just behind this as well, looking to pounce. I think Martin Hobson has the edge over Winston Eckel by just a little bit. Where is Martin Hobson then? Looking to go maybe up the inside of T1. But it's Winston Eckel who has the best chance of doing so. In a slipstream tray now, together with Sam Coleman. Josh Files now right up behind Vincent Ossems. Going into T1, Vincent Ossems going for a move up the inside of Milo Spillman. Is he going to be able to make this one stick? It looks like he is. He is side by side, but now he is going to have the outside, which will lead to the inside. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Yes, he is for now. But he is going to have to go the long way round. Is he going to be able to do so? Yes, he is. That's the signature move there on that corner. But he is still on the inside. Milo Spillman. And is he going to be able to make this one stick through this left-hander as well? No, he is not. Vincent Ossems does give him room though. And he's now going to be able, and he's now going to be vulnerable to Josh Files, who's going to be able to get through there as well. Oh, getting pushed off there a little bit. Is Milo Spillman. He is still there on the outside, but he has to yield, otherwise he will get off track if he cuts across the chicane. It is now Vincent Ossems and Josh Files, a 1v1 for the title contenders, and it will still be Vincent Ossems gaining points on Josh Files, but at the head of the field it will be Winston Eckel trying to gain points on Sam Coleman. Martin Hobson dropping away a little bit of these three. As really Marnix Heister who just can slot in behind that, stay in the slipstream and get away from Sven Merckx. Fabian Tobe now, what can he do? Right up behind Sven Merckx. There he is on the left side of Sven Merckx, who is going to be the latest of the late breakers. It is going to be Sven Merckx. He's going to park that car on the apex. And that is going to be position defended successfully for now. He has still a left-hander coming up, which is very, very tricky. We saw it with Martin Hobson. You can defend your position successfully if you get through this first sector ahead of the other driver. There isn't really an overtaking opportunity anymore for the driver behind. And all of this is just bunching up the field. Oh, around the outside. That is never going to happen there. And Sven Merckx says to him that is not going to happen. But now he repays the favor to Sven Merckx. And he's now going to try and stick it around the outside. He's going to have to cut across the chicane. No, he's not, but he is going to force someone out wide. Who was that? Josh Files. Now trying to stick it around the outside of Sven Merckx. Is he going to be able to do so? Now he gets forced out wide. Sven Merckx all in the melee. And now around the outside, gonna try and go is Vincent Ossems. Josh Files comes back on him. And he gains that position on Sven Merckx. Sven now maybe going to have to try and let Vincent pass. No, he's not. He's not letting anyone pass. Because then he will be vulnerable. He's going to try and go around the outside of Josh Files even. Going to try and challenge him. And that is going to leave him vulnerable for Vincent Ossems. Is he now going to let him by on the main straight? Probably yes. There it is. Vincent Ossems almost pushing him through the corner. Here he is then pulling out to the left hand side. Not defending this one is Sven Merckx down the inside. There he is. Getting agonizingly close to the back of Josh Files. Now these two are going to try and go forward together. Is at the head of the field. It is still the same order. Mr. Eckel behind Sam Coleman, and he is behind James Holman. And it's Martin Hobson behind that, not really able to do anything. Mr. Eckel does take good points as well now. And it is Platinum Racing Team 1 who will take good points over the GasX Racing Team Hyundai. So that will be big for the team championship as well. It's Sam Coleman who really hasn't been able to attack James Holman. For the last couple of laps. But I'm going to give you a lap around this circuit with our leader James Holman. And you can see how difficult it is and how hard the drivers have to work. That is how hard these drivers have to work around this track. But it is Magnus Johansson now right up behind Gustavo Xavier. What can he do then? Can he pull out of the slipstream and go down the inside maybe of Gustavo Xavier? Yes, he's going to try and do so. Gustavo reacts on that, maybe outbreaks himself. And in that, trying to attack Tom Muller, but that was from defensive action, maybe into attacking, but didn't really work out there. Behind him now is Charles Dawson, looking to attack them as well. Niels Speelman is also all over the back of Sven Merckx. Now hands the defense from Van Vinal. That is big as well. Sven Merckx, can he defend successfully for 5 more minutes? Snackle at the head of the field, getting very, very close to Sam Coleman. Now up into P3. And can he now maybe attack on at the end of the pit straight? He has lost the slipstream, Sam Coleman. So now it's going to be all Winston Eckel trying to go up the inside maybe, or around the outside of T1. Can he do so? Is he going to pull out of the slipstream? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Just sticks his nose up the inside. Sam Coleman had to give him the space, otherwise he would have been spun round. Winston Eckel is going to be able to hang it around the outside. The answer is, for the moment, no, he is not. Martin Hobson looking to pounce on his teammate as well behind this. So it's Winston Eckel in a attacking, defending position. Maybe attacking to defend from Martin Hobson. As behind that we have Fabian Tobin. Now going head to toe with Marnix Heister and Josh Files. Marnix Heister up the inside of Josh Files. And not really wanting to yield there. And now he repays the favor, sticking it around the outside is Marnix Heister though. Cutting across Josh Files here. And now it's Vincent Osheim, the two championship contenders. Down the inside he is. Is he going to have to slow down here? No, he's not. That was a good overtake by Vincent Osheim. Brilliant move. We can't sadly look back at that, but you've just seen it live. A brilliant move by Vincent Osheim. Can he now himself get past Marnix Heister, or is Marnix Heister going to allow him past? No, he is not. He's going to defend from the inside, and he now is going to allow them both past. Realizes that this is not his fight to fight. And he maybe has done his thing there with allowing Vincent ahead of Josh Files. There are only 2.5 more minutes to go in this race. So approximately 2 more or 1 more lap now after this one. Yes, 1 more lap after this one. Can Josh Files maybe attack Vincent Osheim for the lead? Or for the lead. At least for the points gaining positions in the championship. Vincent Osheim, what a night he has had, or what an evening he has had up until this point. He now has to defend from Josh Files. Franz now also just overtook Sven Merckx. Oh, down the inside, and he gets spun round there. And Vincent Osheim will be yielding there. That is not what you want to see. Getting pushed off there at the chicane, and he is gonna lose a lot of points with that collision there. Josh Files thinks he is in the right to, or I think Josh Files is going to keep continuing. And that is maybe the best thing to do. If there is a penalty for Josh Files, the stewards will hand that to him. James Holman, what a race he has had. And he's now going to start the final lap as a leader. Martin Hobson has been allowed through, I think, by Winston Eckel. The white flag drops here at the Hungaroring. For the last time, the drivers will be going into T1. Can Martin Hobson do anything about the second place of Sam Coleman? The answer is, at the moment, no. He did outbrake himself, I think, a little bit into T1. But not really able to go up the inside of Sam. Losing all momentum there onto the next straight, of course. As the last lap is upon us now, front final just behind Sven Merckx. What is he going to be able to do? He's going to try and go around the outside. Sven Merckx is of course going to defend that, because this is for the last points paying positions, P9 and P10. One of the last. This is not for the last. One of the last points paying positions. And it looks like Sven Merckx now has that covered. If he doesn't do anything stupid into the next part, because it is really almost impossible to overtake here. But he is now going to try and go up the inside front final. Not really able to make that one stick. As we look at the head of the field, it's James Holman now rounding off the last two corners. And from Vincent Eckel to Martin Hobson, he has been led past. But it is James Holman who will come across the line to win the feature race of this evening's Hungaroring meeting. Sam Coleman comes through in second. Winston Eckel is allowed past by Martin Hobson after he had his try on Sam Coleman. Not really able to do anything as well. Fabian Thoman gets through in fifth. Josh Files is sixth, and Vincent Ossems at the end coming through in P7. Well, what a race we have had. Let's look at the result time of that race. Here we have it. James Holman is the winner of our last race, of our feature race. Sam Coleman is in second, third, Winston Eckel fourth. Martin Hobson fifth, Fabian Tobin sixth is Josh Files, seventh is Vincent Ossems, eighth is Marnix Heister, ninth Sven Merckx, 10th is Fran Vinal, 11th Milo Speelman, 12th is Gustavo Xavier, 13th Charles Dawson, 14th Dani Vogel, 15th Nick Kerstens, 16th Nacho Amela, 17th Miles Owens, Pepper Kerstens finishes in 18th. And behind that, it's Tom Malle, Magnus Johansson, Freek Verkoelen, and Rune Bobars. Finishing 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd, respectively. Well then, we will move on to the interviews. And we will start with someone who has been there, I think, the whole evening. Up there in at least the top 4. I'm speaking to Martin Hobson. Martin, welcome.
Hi, buddy.
Martin, of course, we saw you had that amazing first race trying to keep ahead of, I think it was Josh Files at the end. And then
it was a great battle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Great battle.
Absolutely great to watch.
I really enjoyed that. I hope it put on a great show for you all. I'm telling you, I really enjoyed that battle.
Oh, yes, it did. For, I think, 3 or 4 laps, it was kind of the same for 3 or 4 laps, but it was also very different every lap because the pressure was piling up really after, of course, what you've said to me, like it's not someone you want to be racing that close because you know you're gonna get a tap at
Yeah,
some point, and I
yeah.
think you did,
Exactly.
but it was all fair and yeah, all
It
fair
was
and
a good,
good
it was a
racing.
good, clean, fair battle, and yeah, well done to Josh for the amazing battle and no tapping about like that. So, but second race, it was just like I just couldn't find the groove to get the attack right. So yeah, me and Winston were doing some teamwork, trying to work together, but
Yeah, that
it didn't. It didn't work.
yeah, that was going to be my next question. Was it a thing of letting you pass, trying to have a go at Sam, and if it didn't work, you would give the position back before the finish?
Yep, yep, that was the plan, and obviously I didn't make it work, so I gave him position back, and which is only right.
Yeah, well, Martin, of course, it has been amazing to see you fight around the top four the whole evening. I hope you have had fun, you've enjoyed yourself, and
Yeah, I've really enjoyed myself, and I can't wait for Branzat next week. One of me good tracks. I feel like I'm going back home.
well, it's been amazing to speak to you, Martin, and I'm looking forward to see you go around the track where you feel at home next week.
Yep. Cheers, dude. Thank you.
Well then, talking to someone who will be very happy with the first and less happy with the second one is Vincent. Vincent, welcome.
Good evening.
Vincent, you had a quite quite quiet first race. Yeah, leading I think from start to finish. Of course, having a very good start, which was a big part of that. And then your second race didn't really go to plan.
No, it didn't. The first race was really good. Martin helped a lot with keeping Josh behind, so I want to thank him for that. That was really nice. Um, yeah, and the second race, I got taken out in what is it? Not sure. Turn four, I think. No, turn five. Um, which was a shame, but and after that, it's just so difficult to overtake here because you really need someone in front to make a mistake to really pass them. Because if you overtake into turn one, they have the inside for the second turn and they can take more momentum to the turn three. So it's quite difficult, and I lost some positions because of the battling. And then Marnix helped me really well at the end by battling with Josh again. But my tires were absolutely shot because of the battling in the beginning, and so I couldn't keep him behind. And then we touched again, or for the first time with Josh, which was unfortunate. I left him plenty of room, but yeah, he just didn't make the apex and he just pushed me off. It was also a bit of net code because of the net code I got jumped to the outside of the or more to the outside, and that's why I lost so much time. But yeah, it is what it is. I will see what the stewards have to say.
Yeah. Well, Vincent, it sounds like with, of course, Martin and Marnix helping you, the team is really focused on trying to get you the drivers' championship, or
More the focus is more on the championship because I missed one race, so I lost a lot of points compared to Josh. So it's not because Marnix is in our sister team, and Winston and Martin gained some really good, have got some really good points in the second race, and so the priority was for Team One to gain as many points as we could. And also Sven did an amazing job defending from other guys, so I could catch up. And yeah, want to thank him for that.
yeah. Well, Vincent, congrats on the win in the sprint race. It's been amazing to speak to you. Thanks for your time, and yeah, we'll see you next week again.
Yes, thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Well. We will get someone in here who I think will be happy with how the evening went, at least the first race. But a little underperforming from what he normally shows is Winston Eckel.
Hey, hey
Winston,
Dan.
um, we saw it in qualifying. You weren't really up to speed immediately, having a bit of trouble, I think, qualifying in 8th,
True.
which of course doesn't give you the best start of the weekend.
True.
Then, of course, race 1 is difficult because you start 8th. Yeah, tell us how that race went.
Yeah, the qualifying didn't went so good, just like you said. And yeah, the first race, I had a poor getaway. I had some wheel spin, and then on the second one, I need to put in the throttle again. And so the start was, I messed up the start. It was not that good. And after turn one, yeah, the racing was, I fell back a little bit, and then I was like battling with James in the midfield. And then I went to the chicane and I got pushed wide. And after that, was just like I had a slowdown of 1.1 seconds again, just
Yeah,
like I had last week in Zolder.
exactly.
But then I made the mistakes by myself, and now I got pushed off. So yeah, that's still, yeah, it's racing in the first lap, and it happens. But yeah, it's unfortunate that iRacing directly gives slowdowns
Yeah.
for that. Especially when you want to drive side by side into
It
the
seems like you
chicane.
had no other option than cutting
Yeah,
across.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well, because when I am trying, if I don't steer out of the corner, we had a massive collision, and yeah, when you collision in like P8 or P9, all the guys behind you from P22, yeah, uh, don't need to avoid that, and that's most of the time not possible on such a narrow track. Yeah, but I need to cut to cross the chicane, and then I had a slowdown after that. And after that, I was just trying to recover as much, but I didn't have the pace as well. The car was very understeery. I couldn't get the car into the corner. I tried different brake bias. I tried different braking strategies for myself as well, but it didn't happen. It didn't work. And yeah, that's reflects also the results of the both races. So, but after that, still, I had a good racing, especially also for the second race. Second race was good. Yeah, I had an okay start. Also, not a good one like I had in Zoller, but still, I had a good start. Uh, yeah, and after that, yeah, it was a little bit of trying to get to catch Sam Coleman. He was very fast in the Hyundai. They were very fast on the straight, and we were fast in the corners. But still, like me and Martin, we tried to catch them, but it was not possible. So yeah, and after that, I tried to get Martin. I let him pass. Maybe he could get some trying to get the Mercedes Hungary strategy, like Mercedes did as well
yeah,
back in the day. Yeah, but it didn't happen. He couldn't catch them. But still, I need to thank Martin for that. He let me pass again, just like Lewis did to Bottas in
yeah,
2017. So yeah, it's not there was not such a good race, but still the guys in front with James and Sam were a little bit faster today. But we're trying to catch them back in Brands Hatch in the UK next week. So we'll see what's happened there.
yeah. Well, Winston, congrats on the podium in the feature race. It's been amazing to speak to you. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you out on track next week at Brands Hatch.
Yes, thank you, mate. Cheers. Have a nice evening.
Well then, we move on to our big Mr. Sam. Sam. Tell us, how was your evening?
Evening. Pretty good, really, to be honest. Couple of decent results and carried on pretty much. I think I got exactly the same as last week. So, yeah, another decent haul of points.
Yeah. Well, race 1, outside of the top 7, I think, if I'm correct.
Sixth.
6th, yes.
Sixth.
Yeah, well, I have the top 7 written down, but 6th place was the only place I missed, so it was 1 in 50 chance.
Yeah.
But you finished 6th. Well, tell us about how that race unfolded for you.
Well, got a good start. Got a decent start. I think I got up to third or fourth. I think was the highest I got, and then I don't know what it is. Just over halfway into the race, the grip just seemed to just die off really. And then I was pretty much just a passenger and just trying to hang on and stop the other guys coming past me as long as I could. But eventually, Fran and I think it was James did get by me. So but yeah, I'm still happy with 6th. So a decent run of points and gave me a decent starting position for the feature.
Yeah, well, talking about the feature, of course, you had that amazing finish of second, trying to attack James for almost the whole race until he got away from you. Once he was outside the slipstream race for you, he seemed to have the pace to really pull away. Was it the slipstream that was keeping you on par with him?
I'd like to say no, but I think that is pretty much the case, to be honest. Yeah, like I said, pretty much the exact same scenario in the feature as Heat 1. Pretty much the last half of the race, I just started suffering with understeer quite a bit, and yeah, just couldn't keep up with him. James had some great pace and showed it by taking the win.
Yeah. Well, Sam, congratulations with your P2 in the feature race. It's been amazing to speak to you. Thank you for your time, and next week out at Brands Hatch, we'll see you there out on track, hopefully.
Cheers, Dan. Thanks, mate.
Well then, we move on to our last interview, and it will be our championship leader. Josh, welcome. Hello. Well, I don't know if Josh is here.
Hello.
Oh yes, there he is.
You
Well,
hear me?
Josh, welcome. Yes, I can.
Good.
Well, did you hear what I asked, or you're just back?
No, I heard nothing.
Okay, so I said we're here with our championship leader. You must be, disappointed with how race 2 unfolded.
I mean, it was quite fun, but I tried to assign a clutch pedal to a button on my steering wheel, and it didn't really work. So
Yeah,
the start was very
we
bad.
saw that in
But yeah.
race 1.
Sorry.
We saw that in race 1 and in race 2.
Well,
with
race
both
1, I did
starts.
the normal way where you just pull first gear when the lights go out, and this is the start that the car just makes. So it's always kind of the same. But for race 2, I decided to try something different, and it really didn't work. So I won't be doing that again. I would rather lose 3 places or 4 places than 10.
Well, Josh, you are still the championship leader even after this evening.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's nice.
with only 2 races to go, the championship is looking good for you.
I mean, yeah, it's always nice to be leading the champion. I mean, to be honest, I can't even do the last round because I'm in Italy. So yeah, hopefully I can do enough next week, and no one can catch me. But
Yeah, well, of course
yeah,
you
no,
have Vincent
it's really
hot on
fun.
your heels. You had that incident with Vincent in
Yeah.
the chicane. Anything to comment on that?
Well, I mean, it was quite similar to the one last week, if I'm honest. I was on the inside this time, and I made the corner, and I don't even actually. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he turned in or because he was totally on my left, so I didn't see. I just saw that he'd gone. So I don't really know what happened to him. I don't know maybe if there was a net code or something, but yeah, I didn't even get an X for it, so I don't know what happened. But I know I was on the inside. I made the corner, and next thing I know, he was gone. So strange.
Yeah, well, I'm getting a bit of a Hamilton Verstappen vibe here with the championship now.
Maybe not so crazy.
Well,
But
of
yeah.
course, the stakes here are much higher.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, overall, I mean, if I could make some nice starts, I think it would be easier. You know, maybe I could actually stay at the front and not lose all the places. I don't like Hungary so much. Even in real life, it's the same. It's very hard, to be honest, to overtake. If someone's driving well, they're always going to be able to just drive their line, and you don't really get, there's no opportunity to actually get around the outside of them.
Yeah.
So as long as they don't make mistakes, it's almost impossible to pass without being, unfair. I think I had a really good race with Martin.
Yeah.
Martin, in
Yeah.
the first race. and you saw he made no mistakes. He just defended, made no mistakes, stayed on his line. You can't get past unless I hit him, which obviously it's not my nature to do this. So that's a shame about Hungary, but the track's nice, and I think overall tonight the racing was pretty good too. So yeah, good fun.
Yeah. Well, Josh, congratulations on, of course, your third place in race 1.
Thank you.
It's been amazing to speak to you. Thank you for your time. Still
Thank you very
leading the
much.
championship, so I think you'll be looking forward to next week at Brands Hatch.
Yes, coming home to the UK.
Yes.
My favourite. So yeah, see you next week.
Well, just thank you for your time, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well then, that is everything for us, but we have something still to look at, and that is the current points for the teams. They haven't been updated, I think. It's this one that has been updated. Here we are then, 139 points for our championship leader. These are the provisional standings. I don't know if these are correct. This is what SDK provides to me. 139 points for Josh Files. Winston Eckel is in second for 94 points. Just as Martin Hobson, 92 points for Sam Coleman. Van Vinal is in fifth, 88 points. Vincent Ossam's 88 as well. He is still a long way off of Winston Eckel and Josh Files. Sven Merckx is in 7th, keeping up his good form of the last few races. Anton Dupont, not here this evening, but he is still in 8th, 63 points. Magnus Johansson in 9th on 59 points. And then 55, and rounding off the top 10, together with Marnix Heister, is Ben Green. That is your top 10. I'm quickly going to scroll through the whole of the championship. You can see what you think of it. Of course, a lot of interesting things happening. And then, of course, here we have the team championship. As we can see, Platinum Racing Team 1 has overtaken now GazX Racing Team Hyundai with quite a comfortable margin. Platinum Racing Team 2 now right on their heels now. They have Lithium Motorsports. Karuma Motorsports also doing good. Vulcan Sim Racing on 92 points, just behind Karuma, of course. 63 points for Flemish Simsport by Virato. Team Rima is in 8th, 59 points. 58 points for GazX Racing Team Blue. 10 points for Raptor Racing Team, or in 10th is Raptor Racing Team Orange with 56 points. RD Simsport is in 11th, 45 points. 12th is Raptor Racing Team White with 36 points, and then last but not least, with 21 points, is GazX Racing Team Audi. Well done, everyone. It's been an amazing evening of racing. I have very much enjoyed this. I hope you did as well. I am very much looking forward to next week at Brands Hatch, and I hope all of you will be there as well. For that race. I hope you have enjoyed this evening's outing at the Hungaroring. I definitely did. And until next week, of course, this weekend, don't forget, we have the 8 hours of Sebring for the Platinum Endurance Championship. So there will be a race this weekend as well. Make sure to join us for that. And until then, stay safe. Bye-bye.